I have a rule that I always use when I'm interviewing people. And I say to myself, well, this resume is great, but am I going to be pleased to see them? And if I think I'm not, I honestly never hire them.
Hi Vogue, this is Leslie. We're thrilled to have Anna Wintour here with us at the Condé Nast office in Taipei.
Hello everybody, I'm so thrilled and honored to be here in Taiwan with all of you.
So Anna, you are considered an inspiration and role model to many of our women readers. Can you share your secret to success and how you stay inspired and relevant in your role?
Well, Leslie, I'm so lucky to work both in the world of media and journalism and the world of fashion, because those are two industries that are so full of creativity, so full of inspiration. So I am inspired every day by all the changes that I see and by the enthusiasm and excitement of the teams that I work with.
Couldn't agree more. For our younger readers, any advice as they begin their careers?
Well, social media is a wonderful way to reach a big audience, obviously, but I also think it's a little dangerous sometimes because it seems to me that so many young people who want to enter the field of journalism or the field of fashion think that they can become instantly successful. And my advice, I think, to those wanting to enter these fields is please put in the time. Go to college, go to school, find a role model that you respect and admire, go and work for them, spend some time possibly abroad. It isn't that you design a great collection or write an article and you're going to become an instant success. So if you put in the time, you put in the effort, you create a network, you learn what you're good at, you follow your creative vision, and you spend the time learning, you're so much more likely to be successful than if you start off immediately on your own.
So following that, are those the criteria that you would look for when selecting people you work with?
I have a rule that I always use when I'm interviewing people. And I say to myself, well, this resume is great. This person is obviously super talented, super good at what they might do, but am I going to be pleased to see them when they walk into my office? And if I think I'm not, I honestly never hire them, because I think it's so important to work with people that you enjoy, that are going to inspire you, that are going to contradict what you think might be absolutely right because they have a different point of view. It's important to work with people that connect with each other.
Right. And did you always want to be in the fashion industry?
And I was so lucky because my dad was working in journalism back in London when I was growing up. So our house was always full of politicians. It was full of people that worked in the entertainment business. It was full of really interesting minds, people that were seeing everything and reporting on everything that was going on in the world. So that for a young girl growing up and also living in London in the 60s and 70s, that was an incredibly inspiring. Maybe because my dad was so well known in the newspaper world, I chose to take a similar path, but enter fashion. The advice that I was giving your audiences is the same advice that I followed at my time. I worked in different publications for many years before I was given a leadership role.
Right. You know, you witnessed all the changes that content is being presented over the decades. How do you see the future of content?
Well, when I started in journalism, obviously it was a very different time. You were able to only reach your audiences through print or by appearances on television shows. Now we have the opportunity to talk to our audiences across all these different platforms, like Forces of Fashion or Vogue World. That's another way of talking to your audiences, the way the Met Gala is. Those stories that you're telling have to always connect and inform each other. The one thing that I believe so strongly, Leslie, has not changed is our values. And our values are about respect for each other. They are about creativity. And they're about always respecting the truth.
You just mentioned Vogue World. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how did that idea come about?
As we were emerging from COVID in New York, it became very clear to all of us at Vogue that the city was really suffering, that the city was empty, the museums were empty, the restaurants were empty. So we were trying to think of a way that would make New York City feel very exciting again. So we came up with this idea of an event that we called Vogue World, and in our thinking about it, we always thought it would be an event that would travel. And it was part street fair, it was part fashion show, it was part entertainment. Opened with the cover subject of our September issues. It was Serena Williams, who had just announced her retirement in the pages of Vogue. So that was our first Vogue World, which was a huge success, way beyond our wildest dream. Almost immediately, we started planning, okay, where are we going to go to next? And we decided we would go to London. We had been reading about unfortunate government cuts that had been happening to all the performing arts in London. And of course, for London, the performing arts are the heartbeat of the city, whether you're talking about opera or dance or theatre, everything that people go to London to see and to enjoy. So we decided that we would take Vogue World to the theatre, and we called it Vogue World Opening Night London. Andrew Lloyd Webber, who was extremely helpful and an incredible collaborator and partner, gave us one of his most beautiful theatres, the Theatre Royal. And working with two great directors, Stephen Daldry, whom many of your audiences may know from The Crown, a personal friend of mine, and also great director Baz Luhrmann, they put on this show that was dance, theatre, classical music, fashion, celebrities, and music, of course. And thanks to the support of Edward Enninful, the editor-in-chief of British Vogue, and all of his team, we were able to end the show with the four great supermodels, Cindy, Linda, Christy, and Naomi. And we were able to keep that under wraps.
Right.
And now we're planning to bring it in 2024 to Paris to support the Olympics.
Right. And will it come to Asia eventually?
2025 is our plan.
Something to look forward to.
Exactly.
So on the topic of events, we all know that the Met Gala has become a mega event the world looks forward to. What do you think is the key to its global success?
When Vogue first joined forces with the Met, it was to create some excitement around it, because my great friend Oscar de la Renta and his wife Annette asked us if we would help revitalize it. We said yes, and I don't think any of us understood, the path that it would take, because back then when they first approached us, there was certainly no global recognition for what this event was. So we were so excited because I think we raised $250,000. We had about 300 people come. And that was considered something completely, unheard of. This event now has this huge global footprint, but it did not happen overnight. And even as recently as 5 or 10 years ago, it was still very American in the people that look forward to it or who attended. And thanks to yourself and to all of your colleagues, we learned how, if we invited people that were very respected and known in the Asia Pacific territory, our audiences would be much larger. Mm-hmm. So we are now bigger than the Super Bowl.
Yes.
We reach, territories all over the world. It's something that everybody looks forward to. Once you're through that barrage of videographers and photographers on the red carpet and you're inside the museum, it actually becomes a very intimate, exclusive evening. But most importantly, it is an event that raises hundreds of millions of dollars for the museum's Costume Institute. It is an opportunity to put a spotlight on the collection and on the amazing work that the chief curator, Andrew Bolton, does.
So for anyone who's visiting New York, they must go see the Met.
100%. And hopefully you will be visiting at a time when one of our exhibitions are up. We just announced what we will be opening in May of 2024. Andrew has entitled Sleeping Beauties. What we decided was to have an exhibition that focused on pieces that really reflect a natural world. We would bring these pieces to life through technology. So through AI and computer-generated technology, you will be able to see, hear, even smell what it was like to wear and see these pieces.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Well, Anna, my last question,
Sure.
I think, is one on everyone's minds. How do you balance work and life?
I always think it's really important to balance your family life and your work life, but I also think it's so important to have other interests. I enjoy sport. I love tennis, so I spend a lot of time, especially at the weekends. I guess the most important thing is to really love what you do. It's a great honor and a great pleasure to go to work every day, whether I'm here with you in Taiwan or in Paris or in New York. You're inspired every day by the people that you work with.
Well, thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.